make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. I first want to mention I had a great streak of discussion videos going with Il Divino Vega on the main podcast channel, who's breaking down the ramifications of James Gunn's DCU, the impending sale of Warner Brothers, who will be the best purchaser of WB and ultimately DC. We went through Paramount, Netflix, and then the final part 3 of that conversation was this huge Zack Snyder Knightmare discussion. And the recording got corrupted somehow. I was only able to kind of stitch together a few minutes of that conversation, which was nearly an hour. I cobbled together something of that, and I'll show that. There will be some kind of audio technical issues with it. It really pains me. This recent activity of Zack Snyder was the purpose of that conversation. And also, too, we got something new from Zack Snyder on Instagram. Last night, I was in the middle of watching Sunday Night Football and watching some basketball as well, NBA. And then Zack drops this on Instagram. It was a call to action. It says, a perfect night to watch the black and white cut of Zack Snyder's Justice League on HBO MAX. Justice is gray. Turn the lights down, turn the volume up. And then he gives the Trinity symbols. Batman, got the lightning for Wonder Woman. Zoom.
True. That seems unfair.
And then Superman. Hashtag Justice is gray. Hashtag Snyder cut. And then the music is the We Do This Together, the song. We Do This Together. So amazing. All right. So Zack just drops this. So it's like, yo, as we have the Batfleck movie account, very active account for all things Ben Affleck, Batfleck related, plus, Snyder related stuff. They're saying, hey, the message is clear. Crank up those streaming numbers. Show the studio that there's demand. And that's all we really could take it for. When Zack posted this, it's like, okay, I was like, okay, I need to stop what I'm doing and get this Justice is Gray up. So as I said, literally stop what you are doing. Fire up ZSJL Justice is Gray on one or more of your devices now. And so I went ahead, I got it up on my tablet on the side. So I was still watching my sports. I pulled up HBO Max on my tablet. I know some people out there, it's like, I got rid of HBO Max, or, I got the Snyder cut on physical media. I don't use HBO Max. But I'm like, we known for a while that the Snyder cut has done wonderful on HBO Max. My friends at Sama TV, they talked about it being a hit here just through their third-party tracking. Even Turkey Al-Sheikh, when he announced his partnership with Zack Snyder for the Brawler film, which is not confirmed yet, but I think Paramount's going to put Brawler out. But again, that's unconfirmed at this time, which is interesting because, the Saudis, we're hearing they're part of the Paramount deal. They already partnered with Zack Snyder for the Brawler film and Paramount. Very interesting. But in Turkey Al-Sheikh's announcement for the Brawler film, he mentioned as well that Snyder cut, Zack Snyder's Justice League, is one of the biggest debuts on HBO Max platform. Someone from Saudi Arabia was able to see the numbers for the Snyder cut, but people here don't see that. So I was just, like I said, I had it fired up. I'm like, hey, are you watching Justice is Gray? You know what I'm saying? It was a time for action. That's the wonderful thing with Zack Snyder's fandom. Even though there's different opinions and things like that, at the center of it, it's about getting active for Zack Snyder. It's not about our own hashtags, our own agendas. Even if we have those, we got to know when it's time to drop that and be here for Zack. And that was a time to go on HBO Max. There's different Cyber Monday deals and Black Friday deals for HBO Max. You can get it for like a couple dollars right now, and if it's available in your area. to be a part of this. And even if you didn't have HBO Max, it was nice seeing people from different countries that may not be able to stream it, but they have the physical media and they were posting pictures of the Justice is Gray. That's what it's about. We don't have to really plan these trending events as far as a Snyder fan. If it's just about Zack Snyder, at the drop of a hat, anywhere around the world, we can get active, right? And so that's what I try to remind people. It's quite simple. When he puts out the call, we get active, right? And so that Justice is Gray on HBO Max was a thing. A lot of people are looking at, okay, Zack's activity, what does it mean? Like I said, this feels like 2019 all over again. I believe, at the very least, that something's being discussed behind the scenes. I mean, we just had this exchange on Twitter where Larry Fong, someone who obviously works closely with Zack Snyder, I think does cinematography for him and things like that. He did that on BVS. He's been posting a lot of behind the scenes BVS stuff from angles we haven't seen before, and that got a lot of us excited. Like, oh, someone, you got Zack posting stuff, and you got people that worked with Zack Snyder posting stuff, and so obviously that gets us, again, excited, and we're like, hey, is something happening? Larry Fong, for a moment, seemed to have been kind of like, Zack's posting some past memories on Instagram, so I thought I would too. They were good times. Don't try to read too much into it. And I was like, oh, it's kind of a bummer because we're excited. and that's what someone says on Twitter, and again too, it's like we get emotional highs and emotional lows, and we got to keep, let's stay even keeled here, especially if we've been through this before, in 2019 and even earlier. We know when Zack's active, there's a possibility somewhere, right? So, people may express like, oh, bummer, maybe nothing's happening. Larry Fong says, never say never. And I mean, goodness, I don't know. That's what Zack said.
So
I've learned a lesson, and my lesson is never say never. So, we say.
That's one of Zack's sayings, never say never. Ben Affleck, anything's possible.
Back as Batman.
Hey, anything's possible. Okay.
Thank you.
You don't close these doors unless it's really closed. And I think what we've learned is exactly that. Never say never. So we're going to keep up the activity because Zack is active. And it's for Zack. No matter where DC ends up, no matter where Snyderverse ends up, that's where I'm at. Let me know in the comments below. First, did you fire up Justice is Gray? Did you hear the call? Did you get active? And then now, let me show you the cobbled together conversation of me and Vega. I was only able to, again, preserve a couple minutes of it. So I apologize for any audio and technical issues. First, make sure you have smashed that like. Make sure you're still subscribed. Comment under this. Let me know again. Are you Zacktivated? Did you hear the call to stream Justice is Gray? Let's get into it. Knightmare conversations. If IG was currency, what Zack Snyder dropped out there, the energy you're seeing Zack Snyder doing on Instagram right now, like
he could have done what he's doing now, then, and it's creating a way bigger, heavier buzz, quicker than what was happening back then when he was just posting things on Vero and it was the fans that would then pull it out and share it everywhere else. Now the man's on IG. He waited until now. You know what I mean? Like, why? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
And so now him doing this, it raises eyebrows, man.
It does. I don't think it's a coincidence, personally, in my opinion. Best case scenario is like, yeah, come back, finish the story, whatever. And like I said, it'll cement wanting more. Worst case scenario, but still somewhat good, is that he's selling this Knightmare sequence idea so hard that this is the movie they let him do. like yeah, you know what, come and do this one and done type thing, you know, which unfortunately for them, when they think this is all they, you know, like, this is all what, it's just gonna want us wanting more.
Yeah, the whole Nightmare angle, like it's like you're picking up on it, like, okay, wait a minute, Zach, you're doing a lot of Joker, Deathstroke, you know, Batman. It's like, I was like,
Yep.
I already was thinking Nightmare. Right? I'm like, okay, it's really looking like Zach's gonna do the Nightmare film. Then he drops Nightmare. I'm just like, Zach, you're doing the entire Nightmare League.
Yep.
Like this is what you're dropping. Like, you know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can only think. You know what I mean? More Joker. I can only think. We can only conclude. Right, that there's something with Nightmare coming, man. I can only conclude that.
You know what would be crazy? All this is actually Gunn's idea. You know, like this is him. This is actually discussions Gunn and Zach are having. Like, I'll put it like this: like, even if Zack Snyder's universe didn't exist, and let's just say they came up with this idea of a Nightmare sequence,
it will be Elseworlds. A consistent conclusion I think a lot of us are making is something Nightmare going on here. I only could think Nightmare. Like it's all lining up. You know, if Paramount is to do that and have them evolve, I'm all for Paramount getting this. But then too, I think there still can be a scenario, like we talk about the company splitting, and if Comcast, I think Comcast, you know, could do something as well. So something's happening behind the scenes. That's my whole point.
The timing of this is not a coincidence. I think I agree. It's
timing. Time is a big thing. Warner Bros. For sale.
At the very least, it's that's what's happening, and at the very least, he's pointing at his interests, or he's pointing out his interests, or he's pointing out the fact that he might know something we don't. You know what I mean? And he's kind of like confident.
If Gunn doesn't use Justice League,
right,
Zach can literally just use as an Elseworld. However you want to, you already have a Justice League film, Zack Snyder's Justice League. So that's one angle. And I think like Gunn, the quote with him about Darkseid, he was like, yeah, you know, because Zach just kind of just did it. It was basically what he was saying.
Again, we both can agree that Zach is posting what he's posting purposefully, not just passionately. You know,
right?
Like, yeah, it's passionately, obviously, but it's more purposely as well.
Yeah,
and that we can agree with. You know what I mean? So it could very much be the deals that, you know, the selling of Warner Bros. Happening. It could very much also still be that maybe he's talking to Gunn.
I think this is like an easy plug and play thing where Gunn is like, okay, he's putting it out there. I'm not going to even do Darkseid.
You know? Right.
But when you add all the evidence up, it's at the very least, Zach, there's something going on behind the scenes. That's the simplest conclusion I could give for all that. Zach is only active when something is going on.